Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we begin just, I guess you'd say, here at the Horseshoe, and then we go into closed session, and then we'll return from closed session to go through the regular council. So that's the process. I could tell you it'll all happen quickly, but I may be lying to you. But we'll certainly, we got the heat on, so we'll be okay. We should get through this, and we'll all be well roasted and want to get out of here, and that'll help us move to the right part of the agenda where it says adjourn. So thank you. Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I ask for a motion to go into closed session. Councillor McHugh, moved by, seconded by Councillor Sharp. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. All right, we want everybody to stand, please, for the Indigenous land acknowledgement, the national anthem, and then we'll sit down. Thank you.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Any comments or from council members? Councilor McHugh, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're looking for announcements.
Yes.
Okay, announcements. I have a couple. The Quinte West Youth Center having a fun fest this Saturday, 10 to 6, or 10 in the morning to 6 in Centennial Park. And also, this is dear to your heart, next week, August the 20th and 22nd, the Hastings County Plowing Match taking place at 1289 Harrington Road. I believe that's the Burkett Family Farms. And I'd like to wish our delegates that are going to AMO next week all the best. Understand you have 4 ministerial meetings, so go get them. Thank you.
We'll likely come back with money. Our own money. Go this way. Councilor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Quinte West Soccer Club had an excellent tournament this weekend, rep tournament. Well attended. I think it was the biggest one they had. And this weekend coming up is the House League tournament. And I know you were there, and I thought it was run fabulously.
Councilor Stettl.
Nothing this evening, Your Worship.
Councilor Armstrong.
In conjunction with the Quinte West Fun Fest and the soccer tournament, there are a bunch of activities for families, so we're encouraging the teams to come over to it, and also people in the community just come down and enjoy probably one of the last things for families in the summer.
Councilor Freeman and then Councilor Reed. No, you're good?
I have just one announcement, and it's just an ongoing announcement that Music in the Park continues on Wednesday nights from 6 until 8 at the Frankfurt Tourist Park, and the turnouts have been great, wonderful entertainment. So please come down. There's 3 more evenings left.
Thank you. Councilor Freeman, any comments?
Nothing, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Boyce?
Thank you, Your Worship. Just briefly, I had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to to witness a wedding in the council chambers. And I just want to say on behalf of the bride and groom that a big thank you to the city clerk's office. It's such a good thing that the city runs weddings inside the city hall, and certainly the bride and groom were certainly beyond happy with everything that the clerk's office did for them. So a big thank you on behalf of them.
Did you pay?
I put
Councillor
it on your bill.
Well, I was just going to mention the plowing match, but that's already been done. So other than that, no, everybody enjoy all the activities that are available out there to keep you, I guess, entertained, whatever you choose.
Councillor Card?
Thank you, Your Worship. Though I wasn't able to attend, I wanted to give congratulations for a successful Medieval Madness on Saturday, August 9th. A lot of reviews and photos, looked like a great event, well attended, and just wanted to thank all the event staff and for all their hard work on that.
Thank you. Councillor Kutsovas? Councillor Sharp?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. That's great. I missed somebody?
I just wondered if it'd be a good time for the chief to talk about the fire situation.
We're going to.
Okay.
We're going to, yeah. I just want to follow up on Councillor O'Neill. I did attend the soccer tournament on the weekend. It was fantastic. I have to give Kelly Scott a lot of credit. Kelly, as rough as he is, if you play with Kelly and you're on his team, you know exactly where you stand. You don't have to ask him what he said or you don't have to ask for any interpretation. You'll understand clearly. So, yes, there were a lot of families here, and I think it was Sunday night about 7:30. I was just leaving, and there was a family in their car parked by the soccer headquarters. So I stopped and talked to them, and they were from Oshawa, being here for the 2 days for the tournament, and really enjoyed being in Quinte West. Enjoyed the facilities. Had good things to say about even the refs. Even the refs, that's not usual that you hear. But anyways, the comments were fantastic, and they're looking forward to maybe coming back another year, depending, I guess, on the age of their player. So to Kelly Scott, we thank you, Kelly, and now you've got time to trade in that uniform and get out the hockey stick. And any update on the arenas at this time? Well, no, nothing. The ice is hard though, right? Making it thicker, so it will be. Okay, good. All right, I think I'm good. Have I missed anything? Disclosures. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest?
Yes, Your Worship, I have filed papers with the clerk. I'll be abstaining from sitting in the chair during decision item 11.1A. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Boyce?
Thank you, Your Worship. I have also filed papers with the clerk, 11.1B, and that's in regards to correspondence for council decision reimbursement for a building permit and zoning fees, as I'm employed by St. Leonard's.
Thank you. Okay, we're all good then. Okay, I think we're good. We're now into approval of the agenda. Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by Councillor Sharp. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And I guess further, the meeting closed session be approved as well. So I better take a seconder and mover and a seconder for the closed minutes. Councillor Boyce and Councillor McHugh. Thank you. Any comments or questions on closed minutes? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, we're now at something to do with fire. Got a presentation by two guys here. And Chief, do you recommend we listen? I'm sure you do. Thank you. Thank you, Ben, for being here. And I know you've looked things over carefully and asked a lot of questions from a good many people. Thank you. Oh, do we have a new fire truck out in the yard?
No, Your Worship, actually they're doing some training on it and we're not able to get it here in time. So
Okay.
we'll have it here for September.
As long as they're training with it, I'm happy. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Your Worship, members of council, thank you very much for allowing this time for us to speak very briefly to you. What we would like to talk to you about is we represent, my name is Bruce Montone, and this is Tony Bavoda, and we represent Transitional Solutions, Inc., who is the company that was the successful bidder in your RFP to deliver and develop, along with your staff, across the municipality with a fire master plan. And so our intent this evening, very quickly, is I will make some introductions about the team. Tony is then going to talk to you a little bit about what is a master plan and why it is such an outstanding opportunity and initiative on your part to undertake this kind of engagement to provide you with a roadmap for the future. Part of the RFP that was produced had a very, very distinct focus on engagement. And so we'll be outlining to you how we envision that engagement, and we'll be looking for your feedback if you have helpful suggestions as well. We'll talk a little bit about next steps. We've been here all day yesterday, today, we'll be here again tomorrow, interacting with staff across the municipality. And I must tell you, being here in Quinte West has been a fabulous, fabulous showcase of all of your staff across the municipality. But I do want to acknowledge the support of Chief Whalen, Deputy Chief Caddick, and all the men and women of your fire service who have made us feel so welcome and have been so open and helpful to us in the time we've been here thus far. So you need to know that they are fabulous ambassadors for your municipality. So we'll talk about a little bit about next steps as we're moving forward, and there'll be an opportunity for you to ask a few questions. So next is our team. So this is the team. So Tony and I are the ones who are physically here. Myself in my role as your project manager, and Tony is our fire service specialist. But there is a strong bench behind us at TSI with a number of individuals. Tiffany, you see Edgecombe in the center on the top row. Tiffany is actually a former deputy fire chief for the city of Edmonton. And so Tiffany is our coordinator, and her role largely is to keep Tony and I in line, quite frankly. And she's doing a fabulous job and coordinates all of the support behind the scenes. We have Dave Below McReynolds, who is a finance expert, brings to our bench a strong chief financial officer background from a series of municipalities throughout his career. And so he is going to bring that to the bench to help us with some of our work regarding coming up with the master plan for you to consider. You have Katie in the middle. Katie is our data analyst, and Katie will be working very closely with Tony and your GIS staff here within the municipality to help us with some of the data analytics that are necessary to provide useful and realistic recommendations within the plan. And lastly, but certainly not the least, is Lindsay, who is our administrative support behind the team, who will actually make what Tony and I put to paper actually look very professional and will be very helpful to your staff in the years to come. So I'm going to turn the podium over to Tony for a little bit of the presentation.
Thank you, Bruce, and good afternoon, Your Worship and members of council. I'll reiterate what my colleague had to say. It's a pleasure to be here, and we have been completely impressed with the dedication of your staff. So I'll start off to explain a little bit around the Fire Master Plan. And what I want to do is to answer a question for you. Why would the municipality of Quinte West undertake a fire master planning process? And so you'll see the bullets on the slide here: to better understand and to mitigate risks, to stay compliant with regulations, and to adapt to future growth. But perhaps most importantly for your council is to establish a path of continuous improvement for your fire service. So how will this take shape? From a process perspective, we started our work before we arrived here. Quinte West provided us with a number of documents that we could review in advance to being on the ground here in the municipality. We have reviewed your hazard identification risk assessment. This is a document that is a legislative requirement under the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act. We have reviewed your community risk assessment. This is a document that is a requirement under a regulation of the Fire Protection and Prevention Act. And we have reviewed your establishing and regulating bylaw and its appendices that outline the services that your fire department is approved to deliver. In addition, we will be reviewing, and where appropriate, we will be making recommendations on succession planning and management, your current fire apparatus equipment, including how these are deployed to match the risk that is identified within your community risk assessment. We have started to review the training that is delivered to your firefighters to ensure that it supports the services that your fire services provides. And we have met with the fire department's Joint Health and Safety Committee and their co-chairs. And finally, we will be reviewing emergency response data to understand your current baseline performance.
Thank you, Tony. So as I mentioned in my opening remarks, your requirement included a very, very strong focus on engagement. And so we intend to fulfill that in 3 different very specific areas. So yourselves, along with the CAO and his senior management team, we are proposing a learning opportunity, a workshop with council at a future date when it's convenient for all, to deal with roles and responsibilities and highlighting the importance of that, reviewing with you the highlights of the community risk assessment that Tony just referenced, that, by the way, your municipality was very early out of the gate in meeting the requirements of the regulation and developing your own local community risk assessment. And so you should be congratulated on that, and it speaks to the value of your staff. We're going to deal with mandated requirements and where you get to decide. So we don't want you to think that these suits with a briefcase are coming into town and we're just going to tell you all of these things need to be changed. That's not how it works. This is your service. This is your municipality. And so we're going to give you an opportunity to engage with us so that we can build your wants and desires into a final product. We're going to review service levels, and we're going to look at, or we're going to ask you to provide us with your feedback in terms of your expectations surrounding public education. And so we're going to do that, probably a session that's 2 hours or less at a time in the future that's convenient for all involved. And we will work at the direction of yourselves through the CAO to figure out how that might happen. We also want to engage your customers, the public. And so our plan is in the fall of every year, in the early parts of October, you are already utilizing your resources to engage the public during Fire Prevention Week. So you already have activities, and we just want to hitchhike on those gatherings with members of your community and to try to interact with them, engage them, so we can understand what is their awareness of your services that you provide. How satisfied are they? Do they have expectations of the services that are provided? We may even hear from them on their thoughts on the future of the city and how their expectations are affected by fire services. Things like wow moments. I'm sure we're going to hear from your residents, just from what we've seen in a few short days, we're going to hear about those interactions receiving your services where when the fire service leaves, they turn to each other and say, wow. Those are the kinds of engagement feedback that we're going to be looking for from your customer, from your citizens. And lastly, although it's already began, we're going to be engaging your entire department and all of the staff in a couple of ways. We've been having face-to-face meetings already with each division within your fire service. We're going to provide an overview of the budget and how that relates to the services, not to tell you you need to spend more, but to reinforce that your financial priorities are reflective within the department's budget. So that's a big piece. Training. Training is significantly important in terms of the priorities within the fire service. And so we'll be doing some evaluation and some engagement to assess training, your apparatus, your equipment, very, very important key items to be considered. We're going to look at your response protocols to look for efficiency and effectiveness, as well as the procedures in-house. So with all the interaction this week, with the engagement sessions that we anticipate having over the next couple of months, the impact of all of that will correlate into an identification of your community expectations and the support that's provided. Your political support is already clearly evident, and we will be able to highlight that within the master plan as well as looking to the future. You are at the beginning of a significant amount of growth as a municipality. You know that. And so we want to make sure that you're properly prepared for that future growth before it happens, rather than be in a catch-up situation after it's already here. And so that will, your risk tolerance will be a large part of that. We will review policy. I already mentioned budget and staffing and response readiness. And we've already engaged both of your fire associations on the volunteer side and on the full-time staff side to get their feedback. And I can tell you, we were amazingly impressed with the proactive they approached to us with that engagement. They had no bitches, no complaints. They had thoughtful issues to consider, and with that, they brought solutions, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I don't get to see that too often, so that's awesome. Yes. Next steps is to conduct the workshop and the additional engagement sessions that I spoke to. And with that, that is our presentation. We're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anyone for a question? Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One thing I'd really like to see is on response protocols, how we can reduce response times, if you could review that.
That absolutely is part of what we will be doing. I'll let Tony speak to it, because he's going to lead that undertaking.
The department has already provided us with 3 years' worth of data, so I'll be working with Katie next week to establish what your baseline performance looks like, and I'll be bringing forward some recommendations on regulations that can help to inform what future performance you may want to consider. And so we'll take that data and we'll do the best that we can to break it down by station district, by apparatus, and we'll slice it in many different ways, as well as plotting it on GIS, so that when you see it in the report, from a visual perspective, you'll be able to understand it quite well.
Anyone else? Oh, Councillor Sharp, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and yes, we're all very proud of our fire services and the team there. My question relates to the fire stations. Will you be, in terms of budget and looking forward, will you be looking at the buildings in terms of any upgrades or anything such to that level? And I agree with Councillor O'Neill, response times, that's priority as well as the great training we have with our staff. Thank you.
Yes, through you, Your Worship, to the councillor, absolutely. That is part of the overview that we will be conducting. In fact, today we visited 3 of your stations. We are working out of headquarters, so I guess 4 of your stations. And so tomorrow our plan is to conduct those assessments at the remaining stations that we weren't involved with today. And then we will be providing some recommendations in terms of condition, not full condition assessments, but some very general observations, and draw your attention to areas where your attention might be necessary. Councillor
Boyce, go ahead.
Thank you. And Bruce, yeah, I came to Quinte West a couple of years ago. I got on council for the first time in 2022, and having come from another municipality, this municipality, we have a treasure when it comes to our composite teams and the way that our full-times and volunteers work together. And I went through a fire master plan in our neighboring community, and it was tough. It was extremely tough because I felt that our volunteers were being squeezed out, and I publicly stated that. So I want to, I'll be the one, and I'm sure many others will be as well around the table, saying that we have a good thing going here. They work together, and I want to see those 2 teams continue to work together.
Councillor Reid or Freeman, any comment? No? Councillor Freeman? No? You're good? Okay, come this way.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry, I'm a little slow these days, but we all know what a great group of people we have in our fire service. The deputy, our chief, all the way down. It's just the most incredible group of people, and they all care for and about each other. When they go through some of these horrendous situations, they're there for each other. And I had the pleasure of being on the fire committees for a number of years, and we worked very hard to bring each station up to the very best situation it could be. And I'm sure proud of the equipment we have compared to what we had back before we amalgamated. So it's been a bit of win-win, but it's because of the people that are in the service.
You're absolutely correct. Okay. Councillor Armstrong.
Thank you, sir. When you were doing your assessments, risk assessments and all that, were you taking into consideration our unique situation with the military, with their own fire service there? Is that reflective in your report?
Yeah, so through you, Your Worship, to the councillor, so we haven't conducted the risk assessment. Your staff have done that already, which is going to be used to inform the master plan. So absolutely, they included not only CFB Trenton, but other unique challenges that your municipality has to ensure that your risks are addressed in a cost-effective and at the same time efficient manner.
If I could just add to that, and from a resource perspective, they've also provided us.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Through the chair, if I could just add to that, Your Worship. The team has also provided us with the resources that are available through their automatic and mutual aid agreements. Yeah.
Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. Similarly to the other councillors, really, I think we are very blessed with a wonderful fire service. To Councillor O'Neill's point, too, with some of the data, I'm sure you're going to collect this anyway, but I am very interested to see not only in terms of opportunities for call time or historical data regarding that too, but as you mentioned, we're a very fast-growing community, and I think that understanding in the future call volumes, I think how you see that playing out with the growth in the community and how that potentially affects call volumes, I think I'm certainly interested in seeing kind of some longitudinal numbers on that and what that looks like, your projections for the future too, so I'm sure that was going to be included. But
through you, Your Worship, yes, absolutely. So typically what we will do is offer council consideration of, within the industry, there's typically 5 triggers that are evaluated before some sort of activity, whether it's another vehicle, whether it's staffing, whether it's another station or a relocation of a station. So all of that data applied against the triggers, we'll be providing that for you so you can make educated decisions.
Anyone else this way? Everybody good? Mike? Okay, anyone else? No? Thank you very much. Yes, you can come back with a number of suggestions, but we're not painting the trucks yellow or green. So you can forget that right now.
All right.
There's only one color fire truck in this city, and that's the one we're keeping.
There you go. Message received.
I know, I know. Anyways, I'll ask Chief or Deputy, any comment at this time? I don't, you can mention the possibility of fire, but
Well, I would like, Your Worship, if I could, these two gentlemen are very well educated, and if you wouldn't mind, Bruce and Tony, just telling the mayor and council your background, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
Okay, I'd be happy to. So I completed in December 48 and a half years of service in the fire service, servicing citizens in a large number of communities. My career started actually in the city of Ottawa. I know that doesn't sound like a very small community, but I started in the city of Ottawa, ended up in Elliott Lake, okay, in northern Ontario, between Sault Ste. Marie and Thunder Bay. And I was the 6th full-time firefighter hired in that community. And it grew to, at one time, about 20 full-time firefighters, and then as the community began to diminish, those resources were reduced. My first fire chief's job was in the township of Manitouage, which is halfway between Sault Ste. Marie and Thunder Bay. Yeah. In the middle of nowhere, literally. Was a wonderful community. And then I joined the Office of the Fire Marshal, and I spent 16 years with the Office of the Fire Marshal, and I actually serviced Hastings, Prince Edward, and Northumberland counties. So I have provided service to your municipality, both in their former way, and then after 1998 in your current form. I've serviced all of the municipalities throughout the various counties. I lived in Belleville at the time. I apologize for that.
it's okay.
Yeah. So, and the OFM moved me all over the place. I was in Sudbury, Thunder Bay, Barrie, and then in 2001 at Amalgamation, I went back home to Ottawa, and I was the first deputy chief of the new City of Ottawa Fire Service. And I was there until I actually retired in 2011, and then got tricked into becoming the fire chief for the city of Windsor in a post-retirement role, and I spent 7.5 years in the city of Windsor, and again failed at retirement, and then became the fire chief for the town of Amherstburg. Some of you who may remember Boblo Island years ago. So I served in the town of Amherstburg that had 3 fire stations. When I arrived, 3 full-time firefighters and 60 volunteer firefighters. So I understand large, small, and just right. And that's where I would put the city of Quinte West, is just right. And so I bring that variety to the table to offer helpful suggestions within your master plan.
Well, before you finish, just right is fine. Those are great words, but you remember what I told you. There's only 5 words you have to remember. Quinte West is the best.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Tony.
thank you. Now, my career was only 32 years, so I should be a little bit quicker than Bruce. 32 years of emergency services experience, the first 5 in policing. The bulk of the remainder of that with the city of Burlington from probationary firefighter. My last 4 years there as the fire chief. In 2017, I moved to the Toronto Fire Service, where I was the deputy chief responsible for organizational performance. Along the way, some formal education in economics, a graduate degree in public administration. Retired a few years ago and accepted a contract position as the chief operating officer of a rehab hospital in the city of Toronto. So that 1-year contract turned into a little bit more than 2, so I've retired for the second time. Concurrent to that, I was appointed by the Minister of Finance as the governance chair for Ontario Cannabis Store. And now I'm working for TSI. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate. Yes, it's great to grow old, but it's also great to have the experiences that you've had and still able to use them to help other people. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Got a delegation from John Van Heusen, Quinte Home Builders Association, and president of the co-owner of Van Heusen Homes, and Ruth Estewick, Chief Executive Officer of Quinte Home Builders. And you want to talk about the development charge background study. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your Worship, Mayor Harrison, and members of council, thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. I'm Ruth Estewick, CEO of the Quinte Home Builders Association. I'm joined by our board chair, John Van Heusen, co-owner of Van Heusen Homes. On behalf of our members and the industry, I want to thank you for the constructive process that brought the city and the industry back together to the table. Tonight, you are considering a development charge adjustment, a proposal built through open dialogue, and a shared commitment to finding solutions that will work for all. I especially want to recognize the leadership of CAO Chris Angelo. His steady outcome-focused approach created the space for practical discussions and helped bridge technical details into common ground. I also commend Finance Manager Matt Hodge for his dedicated analysis, willingness to listen, and openness throughout the process. In addition, our own team of dedicated Builder-Developer Advisory Group members, Adam Wilson, Angelo Puglisi, Jamie O'Shea, and of course John, who you'll hear from shortly, are also to be commended. The collective efforts from everyone involved really shows what effective collaboration looks like in action. If approved tonight, this adjustment, which represents a $3,260 reduction per single or semi-detached dwelling permit, will make a meaningful difference in housing. It lowers upfront costs that could be the deciding factor on whether a project moves forward, especially in today's climate of high interest rates, construction cost pressures, and softer consumer confidence. We also believe it will help get more shovels in the ground and offer a wider range of housing possibilities, from purpose-built rental to attainable ownership, while of course keeping local trades and other sector professionals working here in Quinte West. Equally important is the relationship this process has strengthened. Out of these discussions has come a commitment to quarterly proactive meetings between the city and our industry. These regular check-ins will allow us to share information, data, and ideas, have open lines of communication on potential issues, and provide the ability to work together on solutions. This is how we will continue to work collaboratively with the city and how we will deliver the homes that both current and future residents need. Tonight's decision is an important one. On behalf of the QHBA, I respectfully ask for your support. We are ready to continue this partnership, working together on solutions that serve the people who live, work, and build in Quinte West. Thank you for your leadership and for the chance to speak. I'm happy to answer any questions. John's going to say a few words.
Mayor and Council, I think it's kind of awesome to be coming before you this time and not having to pour my heart out on why we need to make some difficult decisions, because I believe we've come a long ways. So I want to echo Ruth's comments of our appreciation for the collaborative work that has brought us to this point, for approving the DC fee adjustment before you tonight. I also want to thank Chris Angelo, CAO, for his leadership, and Matt Hodge for their clear and transparent approach. Their willingness to engage directly with our industry has made a real difference. I believe this process shows how important it is to treat the residential construction industry as a stakeholder and not just as individual public input. Like manufacturing, we represent the largest employment block in the region. And as we're all experiencing right now, when our industry suffers economic downturn, we all experience it. We are pleased that these discussions have led to a commitment for quarterly proactive meetings between the city and our industry. These regular conversations will help ensure we stay aligned, solve issues early, and make decisions that are guided by results on the ground. It's really our goal that the next time a DC study comes before you, it will come with our industry's approval beforehand, so it will be a really easy process for all of you involved, and that we'll be able to stand here and say, you know what, job well done. So on behalf of all of our members, we want to thank you for considering this decision tonight. We urge you to approve it, and we value the partnership and the work that has been done by all to get to this point tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Councilor Sharp, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to Ruth and John. And it is really nice to have a positive exchange tonight and going forward. And I think, certainly we've learned some things we might have done differently in the process, and I'm sure you have too. But I think one of the main things that I think has come out of this also, not only the reduced fee, but certainly the need to communicate on a regular basis. And, sometimes we deal with things when there's the issue, and then we're all squeezed in. So I think this is great. So my question is, quarterly, and how will we ensure that happens? That we just meet sometimes when we just want to have conversation and dialogue and not wait till the issues. So, thank you.
Our plan is to ensure that those meetings are on the books for the year quarterly, as we do in other municipalities. And, they've been proactive thus far in other municipalities, and we believe they'll do the same here.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else for a question? CO Angelo, would you like to address, comment? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship, and I'd like to thank Ruth and John as well, because, as I mentioned to you earlier, this is really about building a stronger partnership going forward, and I'm making this commitment on behalf of the city, on behalf of the city staff, meeting quarterly with the home builders. I think it's more important than that. It's about connecting with them and building a stronger future together, because that's where we all win.
Yes, okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, Ryan Carr, Address Council. Ryan, you're on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and members of council. Thank you for hearing this file tonight with respect to 628 Old Highway 2, request for reconsideration on a sign permit. That was before the Planning Advisory Committee in June. My name is Ryan Carr. I've been the owner of this property at 628 Old Highway 2 since 2018. And I'll give a quick 30-second background on the property just to get everybody up to speed if you're not familiar with the file. So back in June of this year, I went to the building department and requested to put up a sign on the front of this property. The building department said we should do a pre-consultation so that we can get everything going in the right direction and see if this qualifies. It did not qualify after we went through the process. We were close, but not quite, with the biggest constraint being residential or proximity of the sign to residential lots. We took that information, went to the planning committee meeting. They said, hey, still don't qualify. And I said, totally understand. We ended up with those comments over at the council hearing last month, of which I requested a little bit more time to then speak and engage with the community and talk to my neighbors and see if this was going to be a problem. I have since done that. I have engaged with both neighbors, spoken to them. I asked them very directly, and I've actually never met them before, so it was a good exchange. I said, if I put up a sign in the front yard, subject to council approval, would that bother you? Would this be a problem in the community? Because as some of you may or may not know, Old Highway 2 is a prescribed road on the Schedule A sign bylaw, which means that is technically permitted use, provided you can comply with all of the constraints. So our only constraint at this point is the neighbors. So I went, had a conversation with the neighbors, and I said, hey, would this be a problem if we put the sign up? That person said, nope, not a problem. I'm actually surprised you even came to speak with me at all. I went to the other neighbor. The other neighbor provided support in 30 seconds. He said, I've been here 30 years. I think you should build it. So I've engaged the community to find out if we have potential issues. That is no longer an issue. So my request for reconsideration stands if council would continue to re-review and or approve my sign permit on Old Highway 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you. CO Angelo, a comment at this time? Or?
Not this time, Your Worship, but the
Late.
report's on for councils for consideration later, and we can get into that discussion
Okay.
at that time.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Kunzig, glad you're here.
Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So I support this idea. Tiny bit of research. There are a little more than a dozen signs located along the section of road between White's Road and the airbase. All of those signs do pertain to the area business. There isn't one sign that I did see that's on the south side of the road, and it's painted on a trailer that is not related to a business at that location. So there is a sign being posted there by a real estate person that's painted on a trailer, and I don't know how that fits into the equation. And so all Mr. Carr is asking for is a sign that he can promote other businesses on this sign. It's not an electronic sign that's going to be flashy. If I understand correctly, there will be a light shining on the sign to illuminate the advertising that he wishes to put there. And I don't see that it's an issue whatsoever. So when the time comes, I'll be supporting it. So I actually think it's a good idea. Thanks.
So you think that we should have more signs in residential areas on residential property?
Well, in this area, Mr. Mayor, if you care, I'm sure you're well aware, there are a number of businesses along here. More than a dozen businesses are located along this. Well, Mr. Carr's running a business.
In a residential area?
Just like many other businesses along there. Colangelo's Wine is along there. There's the marina along there. There's Trenton Window and Glasses in the neighborhood. There's quite a number of businesses. Yeah, auto car dealer right across the street from him.
They're commercial, thank you.
And he has a commercial property.
I thought it was residential.
Well, he's renting out properties. So he's running a business by renting out residential properties.
Thank you. Okay. Any other, Councillor Sharp?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If I could, how much would this sign or various signs cost you individually?
Construction-wise?
Yes, to put up your sign.
Are you talking about, just for clarification, through you, Mr. Mayor, do you mean if somebody were to advertise on the sign and the...
Right,
or
because
actually the
it's
construction
not a
of the structure?
flashing sign, just how much would it cost?
For the, for me to put the structure up or for somebody to put a sign on
The
that?
whole structure, the structure.
Oh, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 20,000.
Okay, that's that.
Yeah.
And I had, secondly, if this were approved to go forward, so this isn't temporary in nature. This sign, you're investing quite a bit of money, and you'd be looking for a long time to have this sign.
That's correct. That's correct. This would be a permanent fixture. When I was speaking with the neighbors, I said, is there anything that you would prefer to see on the sign in terms of gardens or steel versus wood construction or things of this nature? None of the neighbors had any appreciation one way or the other for which way the sign was constructed. However, from a personal standpoint, I have invested significant resources in this property since 2018. It was previously a very derelict building, and through the building permit process is now a legal non-conforming 14-unit property, of which does have commercial zoning. So I do very much appreciate good tenancies. I do very much appreciate that there has to be a business case because I am private enterprise, but I also very much appreciate that this has to be of benefit, net benefit to the community. I have a letter from a real estate agent, a different real estate agent than you were alluding to with the painted sign, saying that there's actually not a lot of places for people to advertise in the city in terms of physical signage. And this is one of the problems that we have is for physical signage, because there are constraints in a community which is required. Social media has taken over, and there's a significant prevalence on digital spaces instead of physical spaces. And there's just as much important in the physical space as there is digital, but we don't have spaces for people to advertise, and that's what I'm trying to provide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And would you have final say on who advertises, or is it just anyone that comes up with the amount of money that you're seeking?
Well, no, again, going back to Councillor Sharp's point. So like, if I had somebody that came to me and said, I'd like to advertise adult services on the sign, that would not be okay. I'm looking for, Jack and Jane's Plumbing. I'm looking for a pizza shop. I'm looking for a hardware store. I'm looking for a real estate agent. I'm looking for vacancy announcements. I'm looking for things of community, again, community net benefit. I don't want this to turn into the buy and sell. That's not the point of this, right? This is again for community net benefit. Up on the screen, there actually was a photo of the sign. Would we be able to put that up? And that was in the form that the neighbors all saw. Now go back to. Yeah, so right there in the bottom right-hand corner. Tough to see, but in this case, it does say local real estate, local events, local vacancies, things of this nature. This is of net benefit to the community.
Thank you, Your Worship. I guess we are talking about this a little bit now. Maybe it'll save time later when we get to the vote. But I appreciate that you asked the neighbors. Again, I'm not going to be able to support the variance. Not because the sign doesn't serve a purpose in the community. I agree that it does and I'm sympathetic. The reason why there aren't more opportunities for physical advertising is because duly elected councils have enacted bylaw to have a restrictive sign bylaw in the city of Quinte West. That is a decision that has been made and not reopened. I'm open to having the discussion about that, about a liberalizing of the rules that govern it. But for us to go case by case and allow, there will be many dozens more landowners here seeking variances, I can promise, within probably a fairly short period of time. And it doesn't behoove us to allow exceptions. We should, if we think that this is a legitimate usage, I think that we need to open up the sign bylaw, get some staff reports, investigate the issue. I know that that's a huge undertaking, but to give individual variances is going to open up a Pandora's box for us. It is not going to be good. We've had other issues where this has happened, and similar things come forward, and we say no, and it's not a good look, and it's very frustrating for folks. And anyway, I just wanted to say that. But I appreciate there is a need in the community. I don't disagree with you. I just don't think that we should be addressing it this way.
Thank you. Coming this way. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Stedall.
Thank you, Worship. I'd have to say that I agree with Councillor Card in that I'm not sure that we actually want to open up the policy, or if we do open up the policy, I think we'd need direction from our staff as to see what the direction is to go forward in this. One exemption, I think, can lead to many exemptions, and I know it's taken, I believe, a number of years to get to the sign policy that we currently have. I'm not opposed to having this type of signage given the the appropriate venue and having the neighbors' approval, which is fine for this particular instance. But I think the overall larger picture is that we are a large city, and this opening up one application, approving one variance could mean that we would have multiple applications that this council would be dealing with. So it makes more sense to go back and review the whole policy rather than having one.
Thank you.
Approval.
Okay, coming this way, anybody else? Okay, I'm going to defer till later on in the agenda, Brian, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
Just as the applicant, can you just tell me what that means?
I can't, I'm
Process
sorry, I'm
wise.
not hearing it.
Just wait. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Someone else for public input? Anyone else? Okay, keep going then.
Mr.
I
Mayor?
believe there's someone for public input. Mayor Harrison.
There is
Oh,
somebody?
yep, gentleman coming up here now, right here.
Oh, sorry, come on up. I didn't see you. Sorry.
Give him a mic, you got a hand mic?
Reach it, there you got her.
Right on, eh?
We'll get you a hand mic.
Get a hand mic coming here.
Yeah, here's a hand mic coming.
Wanna take that up to the mayor?
Go ahead, you're on.
I'm here about whatever this thing is here.
Oh, thank you.
It's a bylaw infraction.
Go ahead.
Well, I would like to know the derelict car that, I don't understand what it means. That car is plated, insured, it's been for years. And I have 2 vehicles, and we're disabled, and we don't move around that much. Park the car out on the street. Got a ticket because when they redone the street, the 54-foot wide, our lot, they made it all driveway across, so we can't park in front of our place. About a year ago, my son brought me back from the doctor thing, 10 to 4, we were parked in front of the house, my house, and got a ticket. We're not being parked, what is it, a meter or 40 inches or whatever the game is.
Mayor Harrison, could I give some background on this?
Yeah.
I was actually over there, and the issue is the car's parked on the road, and the bylaw says it's a derelict vehicle, and so you've been told that you're going to be ticketed if it's left on the road because it's a derelict vehicle. I have talked to Director Jardine about it, and we are looking into it. Or did you want to say anything on that, Director Jardine?
No, through the mayor, yes, as Councillor Neil said, he brought it to my attention this afternoon. We'll look into the issue with bylaw stuff, find out what the report and what the inspection found, and then we'll get back to the resident.
I'll be right here about the same subject. I want to know why I cannot park in front of my place, which I have 52 foot.
Through your worship, I don't know the details of the ticket right now, so I'd have to look into it. I don't think it's fair to give the
All right, well,
gentleman a
we're gonna
response
leave
right
it-
now.
We're going to leave it in your hands. Okay, Counselor?
And you could talk to Director Jardine to get his business card, but we are looking into it. Or he is looking into it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Just get that mic. Okay.
must be something wrong if they're given a ticket. Must be, anyways.
I can tell you some more on that later.
Okay, okay. Okay, anyone else for public input? Otherwise, we're moving on, okay?
Mr. Mayor, I do have a submission for public input.
Okay,
This is addressed to Mayor Harrison and members of council from Robert Warham, Public Member, Quinte West Active Transportation and Traffic Safety Advisory Committee, dated August 11th, 2025, and the subject is regarding procedural review regarding motion on Public Staff Report, Quinte West 2025-00115, Old Highway 2 traffic calming. States, Dear Mayor and members of council, I'm writing to you today in my capacity as a public member of the Active Transportation and
Traffic Safety Advisory Committee. I wish to provide important context regarding the motion forwarding the recommendation from Staff Report 25007 PWES, which is presented to Council as part of Public Staff Report QW 20250015, which is before you for consideration tonight. At the committee meeting on July 7th, 2025, a motion was put forward to recommend and approve of all staff recommendations concerning the Old Highway 2 traffic calming proposal. These recommendations included the installation of solar speed signs, the establishment of a community safety zone, and the placement of a MAD memorial sign. During the debate, committee members indicated they would not support the creation of a community safety zone, but wished to support the other recommendations. To facilitate a productive discussion and allow members to vote on each item's merit, I introduced an amendment to the main motion. This amendment, which was seconded, proposed to remove the community safety zone recommendation so it could be considered separately from the speed signs and the MAD memorial. According to the city's procedural bylaw, an amendment is a permitted motion that may be entertained while a question is under consideration. However, instead of proceeding to a debate and vote on the second amendment, the chair called for a vote on the original unamended motion. My point of order on this matter was rejected, as well as the request for the clerk to be allowed to provide interpretation, and the original motion subsequently passed on a narrow counted vote. My concern, which has been confirmed in correspondence with the city clerk, is that the correct procedure was not followed. A seconded motion to amend may be considered before the main motion is put to a vote. The rule requiring a mover's consent for amendment only applies to notice of motion, which this was not. This procedural issue is significant because it forced committee members into an all-or-nothing vote. This created a difficult situation where supporting the highly desired MAD memorial sign for victims whose families were in attendance required also supporting the more contentious community safety zone. There is reason to believe a modified motion may have received different support had the amendment been allowed and for discussion and explanation to occur. To ensure that each of these important public safety initiatives receives fair and distinct consideration, I respectfully request that councilors consider moving the memorial and solar speed signs forward and referring the community safety zone back to the advisory committee to complete the debate. Thank you for your time and consideration of this matter of public process. I have attached my correspondence with the clerk submitted for your reference. Respectively submitted, Robert Warham.
Thank you very much. My comment would be very simple. The chair is responsible for the direction of the committee, and the chair's decision is the one that we follow and support. CO Angelo, anything else you want to add to that?
I think there's nothing else to add, Your Worship. I know the first business that Council will be debating will be the minutes of the Active Transportation Committee, and Council can make those decisions at that time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, well, let's keep. Oh, Councillor Boyce, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. I agree with you. And any member on a committee, whether they're councillors or citizens, have a right to challenge the chair on their decision, and that never occurred at that meeting. There was no challenge of the chair, and as a result, the chair's decision was, in my opinion, it was appropriate, and I supported it, and I'll continue to support it.
Thank you. I think we agree with you. Or we all agree with us, whatever way you want to put it. But thank you very much. I understand there's always someone or something that happens, and you have to deal with it and make a decision at that time. And I think that's exactly what was done. So thank you very much. We'll keep moving on. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else have something? We're all good? Okay, great. It's getting hot in here.
Take your jacket off.
I don't know. I think Councillor Coetzee turned off the air conditioner.
Go Blue Jays.
That's why he came late. Okay, resolution at staff report active transportation as committee matters for council consideration be approved. Okay, I need a mover and a second.
I'll
Councillor
move
moved
it.
by Councillor Quincy, seconded by Councillor Card. Any further comments? All in favor? Thank you. The next one is the Angelo interim CEO regarding Old Highway 2 traffic calming measures. Proposal for information. And that council approved the installation of solar speed signs along Old Highway 2 between RCF Road and Quinte View Drive, and that council approved the designation of a community safety zone between RCF Road and the Quinte View Drive, and the council approved the placement of MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, memorialization signs between RCF Road and the Quinte View Drive. Okay. Councillor McHugh moves. Is the seconder? Councillor Quincy. Any further questions?
I do have one.
Go ahead.
I don't know if we have the answer, but in regards to the sign that MAD is going to be erecting, or I guess they pay for it and the city erects it, is there just one sign or is there multiple signs, or do we know to the answer to that question?
Go ahead.
Your worship, through you, I understand there's only one sign going in the eastbound direction.
That's what I understood as well, that it
Correct.
was just the one sign.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? Councillor Steno?
Thank you, Worship. I apologize that I missed the Active Transportation Committee for this particular meeting, but with regards to what's being proposed, I support it. In fact, I do not believe that it's going far enough for what is happening on Highway number 2. Highway 2 is become a speedway, and I believe that even with these measures, I don't think that that will slow the traffic, and I think that it's becoming an increasing problem as we have more and more development. But I'd like to see in the future that we actually take back to active transportation is some kind of a look at future roundabouts on Highway number 2, especially at the intersections where Bayside School is and at Montrose Road. And we also take a look at improved lanes across Highway number 2 so that we can get pedestrians and bikes off the road. So this is a great measure to start with, but I just don't think it's going far enough.
But I know Inspector McNaught and has just heard your comments, and I know very well that they will do a review of the speed on Highway 2. I know that will take place. I know that's what's going to happen. Just make sure you follow the speed limit. That's all I can tell you, because there's no mercy. There's no mercy. And I travel there quite often, but I have a controller in my car that controls how fast I go, so, but we have to respect everybody on the road, so, thank you. Councillor Quincy.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I also travel that stretch where the air base is, and most of the people are driving the speed limit, more so this year than other years, but there are still some who blast right through there. And the traffic lights, I suppose they could possibly be reviewed to help control traffic as well, but I'll leave that to our new Director of Public Works. When they're appointed, they could have a look at how the traffic lights could help with the flow of the traffic as well. There are 4 traffic lights through there, so from RCAF Road through to Quinte View Road, I think it is. There's 4 traffic lights there, so that could also help with the controlling traffic through there. Anyhow, I do support the decision that happened at the committee level meeting, and support Karen Sharp, the chair of the meeting, and her decision that was made at the meeting. Thanks.
Councillor Sharp, yes? Okay, who's next? Am I good this way? Okay. Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I agree with previous statements and appreciate the OPP's enforcement actions on Highway 2. It is a lot of issues with speeding and other infractions there recently, as we all know. I don't sit on the committee. I did watch the relevant video, and I understand the public input from Mr. Warren, but I think that the 5 members that supported the full slate of recommendations and the majority, I think that they did understand that they could choose to vote against it and put on the floor the slate minus the community safety designation. I think that everyone was aware of that possibility, so I don't think having it included was that big of an issue. I'm happy to support the full slate and hope that the traffic calming measures work.
Okay. Anyone else? Inspector, before we leave this particular issue, can you give us a quick update on the impaired drivers, the impaired issues that you've been dealing with lately?
Yeah, for sure. Our numbers have continued to increase with impaireds either with alcohol or with drugs. We had several more arrests over the weekend. We just completed our focus patrol on Highway 2, and our new focus will be partnering again with Belleville City and a couple of the other area detachments to now strictly focus on assigning officers to just go out and do the patrols and set up in various locations for impaired driving. Encouraging the officers to use MAS is a big thing, and it's a learning curve, but it's what we've been now, I think we've been doing that for approximately 2 years, and that's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing more of an increase in the arrests, is the ability to give those tests to every driver that we pull over at either a ride program or at a traffic stop. So the numbers are not decreasing, but our education for the officers has increased. Our time spent doing proactive patrols for impaired driving has increased, which is adding to the numbers of arrests and charges that are being laid.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. What do I need? Do I need a vote? Are we, okay, all in favor? Thank you. Carried. All right, the next one I've got is, I hope I'm on the right one, is by Mr. Jackson, the Manager of Engineering Services regarding Alpedine Drive, parking and stopping restrictions, proposal for information, and that council approve the implementation of no stopping and no parking zones at the path access location on Alpedine Drive to support pedestrian safety, and that staff be directed to prepare an amendment to bylaw 24-151 to reflect these changes for council's consideration. Mover and a seconder. Councilor McHugh moved, seconded by Councilor Allier. Any comments or questions? Go ahead, Councilor McHugh.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I attended the open house with regard to the second Doug Hill reconstruction, and this was probably the single most prevalent question. People came up there, all the concerned that live there right now, with a number of students coming out. It's a bit of a blind corner, people coming around, people stepping between cars and that, and they can't see the pedestrians or the students coming out. So I'm in full support of this.
Thank you. Councilor Katsoulis?
I'm in full support of child safety. It's the most important point regarding this matter. I would just like to see it enforced strongly at the beginning, because I can see this happening, that they're waiting for child pickup, most of these parents that are illegally parked. So they're going to be in their vehicle anyway. They won't actually be issued a ticket, because by the time they see someone approach them, they'll move their car. Or I don't think the sign is enough, to be honest. Like, people disregard signs all the time. They say, I'm just going to be here for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and they take off. So I would just like to see enforcement strong so that they get the message in the beginning, and then hopefully they abide by the signs and the rules.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sure they'll take your advice into consideration. Anyone else? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, the next one, resolution and staff report by Director Denowden regarding the PI investment results be received. Moved by Councilor McHugh. Need a seconder. Councilor Card. Any questions or comments for all in favor? Thank you. Carried. Okay. Next one is the staff report, QW-2025-00122 by Director Denouden and Matt Tracy of Water Wastewater Services regarding water licensing financial component be received, and the council approved the proposed water and wastewater financial forecast indicating that the drinking water system is financially viable, which will form part of the city's drinking water licensing requirements for the 2025 water license renewal. Okay. Moved by Councillor Quinte, seconded by Councillor Sharp. Questions or comments? Questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
All we're doing here is we're just verifying to the province of Ontario that that we've got our water rates in place and we have our ducks in a row, I guess, as far as replenishing our reserves and making sure that the water, wastewater funding is going to be a little bit stronger tomorrow than it is today, because we are having to build it up a little from events from the past couple of years. And we're just reassuring everybody, including the province of Ontario, because we want to get our license renewed, that we feel we got a good plan going here.
So maybe you could just change your words a bit. You said all we are doing. What you meant is we're doing very important.
Yeah, it's important, all right.
Okay. Yes, we're doing very important work with our staff, and the quality of the water we produce is exceeding the Ministry of Environment.
Yeah, the water reports come out in the springtime, and we passed, due to the hard work of our staff, passed with flying colors.
Yes.
Which I very much appreciate.
And we're going to keep on doing that, right? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, the next one is Minutes of Planning Advisory Committee meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Moved, seconded by Councillor Katsovas. Okay. Any comments or questions?
Is this where we're also voting in regards to Mr. Carr's sign? Is that included in these minutes, or is that scheduled somewhere else?
No, it's not included because Mr. Carr hasn't made any new application.
Oh, so you're suggesting that he make a new application?
Well,
Your Worship, just for clarification, Mr. Carr's is going to be considered under new business. So the minutes that you're asked to approve now do not include anything to do with Mr. Carr.
That's what I thought, but I was just clarifying. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Correspondence, decision, letter from Deanna Way, Executive Director, Quinte Museum of Natural History, requested council consider waiving a renewal application fee with respect to temporary use. Waiving a renewal application with respect, and the Quinte Museum of Natural History. Okay, Councillor Freeman, yes. Go ahead.
Responding.
She's on mute.
We can't hear.
I'm unable to hear.
Can't hear.
So
I
moved,
think
sorry,
she's-
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, we're on. You were on.
Okay, thank you. So
There,
moved.
that's good. Go ahead.
I just wanted to move that.
Okay, you want to move it? Thank you.
I'll
Second
second
by
it.
Councillor Sharp, moved by Councillor Freeman, second by Councillor Sharp. Comments or questions? That's what I need to hear. Comments or questions? All in favor? One, two.
Yeah, okay.
Carried, thank you. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, then, next one is, letter from Kelly Nolan, CEO, St. Leonard's Community Support, Prevention and Residential Services, requesting council consider reimbursement for the building permit and the zoning fees for the Lester Road project. Resolution that council, yes. Okay, so who wants to make what? What do you want, what do you want? I'm listening. I'm listening.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
can St. Leonard's apply to the city through our grant program for up to $5,000?
Don't know why they can't. Is
I
there
don't
any
know why,
reason why they
I
can't?
don't know why they can't either. I
Through
would
your
prefer
worship.
I would prefer that they do it that way if that's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, through your worship, for 2025, that community grants is fully subscribed. Outside of the community grants, I also, actually, if they did apply in 2026 for the community grants, I'm not sure they would qualify. They do receive another $25,000 grant from the city on an annual basis.
So who's going to reach out to them? Somebody's got to reach out to them and they. Oh, sorry. I can't see that far, that's my trouble. But anyways, are you understanding what you should do? Anyways, you can meet with Director Denowden, and he'll explain the process for you, okay? All right? Thank you. Anybody disagree?
Mr. Mayor.
Your worship, just for clarification, so the 2025 program is already subscribed, so council's already approved that allocation.
Right.
Mr. Downs indicated already, if you look for 2026, we already provide funding to St. Leonard's in the amount of $25,000 per year. So is that going to come off that $25,000, or is this in addition to that? And that's sort of the challenge that staff are having with this, and that's, we can have that discussion, or we can bring this back with another report. But again, where are we looking at bringing those funds from?
Yeah, that's always the question.
How much is it?
That's the hardest question. Why do you ask that question? Councilor Sharp.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'm very supportive of Leonard's Foundation, and I know Hastings County, which we're a partner, has given significant dollars just recently, which is wonderful, and we're all partnering in that, and we're giving $25,000 already annually, so I can't support additional funds. If they wish to reapply for their grant program for 2026-27, but I just find that, this is something I can't support. Sorry, thank you.
Anyone else? Councilor Quinte.
Yeah, this is always tough when we want our community partners to be out there helping the community, but at the same time, the city's got to draw a line somewhere because we are faced with extreme pressures financially when it comes to the budgeting and the tax rate and all that sort of stuff, and this year's not going to be any different than the last few, but it's not getting any easier and getting a lot tougher, and so we really need to start shutting the door on a lot of stuff just like this.
Well, I understand it is getting tougher for all of us, but it's getting tougher for you too. And the more people you can help, the less time the officers are going to spend on the road and spend at your place. And you're going to help people, I hope, get back on track and understand that there's a way to live, and there's a way that you can live and be healthy and prosper. I know we're between a rock and a hard place, but I really appreciate the work you do. I really do, and I know how important it is. Yes, to everybody. And when you're not here, it puts more pressure on the school system too. Yes, it does. So everybody's under a lot of pressure. I don't know what else. Is there anything else we can do to help you? That's my question. I know money is we're between a rock and a hard place too, but is there any other way?
Get operations a little bit back to health, so it makes out the rest of the year. We didn't know at the time, obviously, that Hastings County was going to be a continued sponsor for the program, and we are very grateful. But we are just limited until December, so it was, we'd come before this to talk about the zoning reimbursement. There was nothing in place at the time to reimburse. So they said that they would get back to us on that. So once the project was up and we are opened as effective July 11th, we just thought we would take an opportunity to try and net back a few dollars to help us with our operations.
Well,
But I appreciate the council's position, and I understand there's a lot of hands out, and there's a lot of mouths to feed.
Okay,
Thank
so, thank you very much. Can we defer this and ask our staff to meet with them and see if there's any way you can do, or we can do something miraculously? I know I'm asking a lot, but would you at least we'll defer this for a month, and that's what I would ask. Maybe you don't
I'll
know
second that for you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I can't do it, but somebody else could do it.
Oh, well,
You
can I
move it.
ask for a deferral on this decision so we can
Okay.
give our staff some time to report back to us on if there's any possibilities that there's a way we can help out? Thanks.
Okay, I got a mover, I need a second. Counselor Elliott seconds it, okay. All right, so I'm putting the onus on the CEO and the Director of Finance here, okay? All right, all in favor? Thank you very much, okay.
No, I don't think so.
Go ahead. Something else?
Deferral? All in favor.
All in favor?
The number.
Oh, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm voting for it, so. Nobody? No, you're not. So what do you want to do then? So is it, I don't,
That's it.
let's ask, how many did we get? I lost, put up your hand and I'll get somebody else to count.
I can't see what's on the screen. The sun's right in it.
5. So we're not carried. Motion's lost. Okay, so what are you going to do now? Let them sink?
No, Mr. Mayor, I put forward a motion that this request for the permit fees be denied, and, we wish you well, and there'll be other opportunities, I'm sure, but I just don't think this is the time. So maybe a budget in the future. My motion is regretfully denied.
Okay, well, I visited the facility. You've done a fantastic job on that facility. Just miraculous, beautiful. And you and I both know that the youth are going to use it, they're going to be there, and they're going to, I hope, find a new way to enjoy life. Anyways, it's denied, so that's the way it is. So you'll have to, yeah.
Your worship, we need a seconder for the motion.
Oh, Councilor Armstrong seconds it. So, okay, I deny it. All in favor of denial? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have a question.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, read a question.
Thank you. Just please clarify, have we awarded all the 25,000? And the reason I asked is because Mrs. Nolan said they need some money to float themselves till December. Could we not give an advance of that 25, or it's already handed over? Totally different program? It wouldn't help you out here? Okay, thank you.
We have the 20 for this year for that program. This is just to sort of recoup some losses. I mean, it's the first of the business program for youth in our communities. Yeah, just the overscope in the renovations, of course, repurposing the building didn't go as we planned, and we're looking to get back some of that. Again, we understand.
Well, Councilor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I was just going to suggest as, I think that staff's doors always open, like Director Grimman, for instance, if there's some maybe programs, grant opportunities or other avenues. I think that, I won't speak for her, of course, but I think that possibility always exists regardless of the decision of council on this particular ask of money, so.
Anything else? Well, I'm sure okay, we denied it, so.
Yeah, but there's a motion put on the table.
Okay.
Your worship, you still have to call for the vote.
Okay, got a mover and a seconder. Okay, all in favor of the motion? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Motion's carried. Thank you. Okay, the next one is Association AMO support for elect respect campaign. Democracy is healthy and so on. Okay, that's a long one. Mover, Councilor said all moves. Want to comment about it or no? You're good?
Sure.
Seconder, Councillor Kutsovas.
Just
Any
comment.
further questions or comment? Go ahead.
I think this is a really important resolution for the council to support. It talks about making sure that they're calling out harassment, abuse, and personal attacks, focus debate on ideas and policy and not on personal attacks. This is something that I know, government has been trying, municipal government's trying for years to try and implement. So I think supporting this resolution is exactly what we do. And we are respectful, I believe, here at the city, but there are always bad characters that come from time to time. And I think it's not here, but across the province. And so I think it's imperative that we support this.
Well, it's certainly interesting times. Councillor Shaw.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I agree that we all work together, but there's municipalities that don't, and going forward, one of the conferences I was at, they really spoke about how people don't want to run for council because of the abuse that they take, and sometimes the harassment is ongoing, and it's very, and sometimes affects their life, and this kind of thing. So I think we collectively have to also support this message, and as Councillor Stedall says, we want to have a supportive culture for councillors, our volunteers, our committees, and our working officials, and sometimes councillors are just expected to take it. And, this isn't a good culture when that happens. So we all have to work together to stop harassment throughout, not necessarily our municipality, but as for the future, because I hear it, I'll say, hey, why don't you run for council? You should be on council, you'd be a great councillor. I'm not going to run for council. Are you kidding me? Because there's some abuse from the community sometimes in an aggressive way. Most people are wonderful, but this is to help work on that. I think it's very important.
Okay. Comment? All in favor? Oh, sorry, somebody else. All in favor is carried by my count.
Yep. All the way around.
Okay. All right, proclamations. Council proclaims September 7th as Deschênes Awareness Day in the city of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veterans Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color red on September 7th, pending no scheduling conflict. Moved by Councillor McHugh, seconded by, need a seconder? Need a seconder over here. Councillor O'Neill. Thank you. Any comments? All in favor? Great, thank you. The next one is that Council proclaims September 7th to the 13th as Living Donation Week. Well, I'm willing to donate, but not yet. Okay, I need a mover and a second. Councillor Kutsovas moves, seconded by Councillor Reid. Any further comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Council proclaimed September 15th to 21 as World Mitochondrial Disease Week in the city of Quinte West. And further that the Quinte West sign be lit accordingly. Okay, need a mover as Councillor McHugh moves. Moved by Councillor McHugh, seconded by Councillor Card. Comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Carried. And next one is Council proclaims September 15th to 21 as Rail Safety Week in the city of Quinte West, and the Veterans Skyway Bridge be illuminated in color red. Mover to seconder, Councillor Stedall moves, seconded by Councillor Quinte. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Council proclaimed as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, City of Quinte West. Need a mover to seconder, Councillor Armstrong, Councillor McHugh. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Correspondence, printed information. Moved for a mover and a seconder for printed information. Councillor Allier moves, McHugh seconds. Comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Resolution that the printed correspondence items 12-1AH for council information be received and filed. Mover to seconder for this one. Mover and a seconder. Councillor Reid moves, seconded by Councillor McHugh. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Bylaws be read first, second, and third time.
No, you don't go.
Pardon?
Notice of motions.
Oh, other business?
The other business,
Adam Grabowski, building inspector, regarding sign variance, electronic message display sign, 628 Old Highway 2, Quinte West.
Who's the other? Is he here?
Well, okay, can you explain that one to me, or?
Can, Your Worship, but this is Mr. Carr's presentation, their delegation to
okay.
council,
Right.
and I believe Mr. Jardine can answer any questions that council may have.
All right, Mr. Carr, come on up and, yeah.
No, he's been up, he's been up.
I know he was up, I'm just, if there's any questions, I did tell him that he would ask. Oh, okay, any questions, Director Jardine, any comments at this time?
Through you to council here, to obviously the application is in front of you as it was presented to Planning Advisory Committee, and can certainly answer any questions or anything the council wants to direct. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we allow Mr. Carr to erect his sign, and as per his application, that he's indicated that he was going to construct this sign on his property. It would be illuminated by a light, but the signs themselves are not illuminated. The light is just going to shine on the signs, and I'm looking for a seconder.
You second it? Okay, any comments or questions?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just happen to think that this location is a good spot because there are quite a number of signs along here. It is a mix of residential and commercial properties. I understand that it's a variance. This council does variances all the time, maybe not with signs, but they do all kinds of variances every day. And if other people want to come along with their ideas, they're welcome to do so through the application process, and we can address each and every one of them as they come. But in this case, I think this is a good location. It's not going to be sticking out like a sore thumb, being the only sign on the road. That's not going to be the case. It'll be one of 15 or 16 signs along this section of the roadway.
Councillor Boyce.
You're muted.
You think you're in Belleville now? You're muted.
Oh, sorry, Your Worship.
Yeah, that's it.
So I'm hearing from Councillor Quinte, and I think it's the second time he's mentioned it, that there are a lot of signs in that area, but, and I live close by, but are all those signs related to the businesses that are actually on that on the properties, like, for example, the make your own wine, the glass place, etc.? I think that's where there may be a lot of signs, but I think the general rule is those signs that are currently present are adjacent to the actual business. And so we're actually asking for something different.
Thank you. Councillor Card?
Thank you, Your Worship. As I mentioned earlier, I won't be able to support the motion, but I did have a question for Director Jardine, and not to open up a can of worms, but in your professional opinion, would it be reasonable, for instance, I don't know the history about the previous bylaws iteration history, but would it be reasonable, for instance, at the next term of council, for that council to take a look and update the sign bylaw? Is that, how often should that sort of exercise occur in your professional opinion? Of course, it being council's discretion, but what would your take be on that?
Thank you, through your worship, to Councillor Card and the rest of council. I think my comment to that would be hard to specify a specific time as to when a bylaw like this would be updated. I think my more general comment would be a comprehensive review of a bylaw such as the sign bylaw should be undertaken if council believe that it's not fulfilling the intent of council, right? So if you feel that the conditions in clauses within the sign bylaw and the eventual number of signage and types of signage that result from that don't meet council's requirements or council's vision, then for signage within the municipality, then that would be the time to update your bylaw. I think one thing I would mention here, because these applications come through. Well, first thing I would mention is that obviously, as you know, this is you're dealing with a variance this evening, but keep in mind that there's only a small proportion of signs that are created that go through the variance process. The majority of signs that are constructed and erected within the municipality on literally a weekly basis meet the sign bylaw. So, even though I think it's been referred to as a fairly restrictive bylaw, there are signs being located and you see them going up all over the municipality. There's probably, I didn't count them, but there's probably about 20 different types of signs as well. So we're really just dealing with one type of sign and where the preferred or expected location for that type of sign is. But remember, if we're looking at a comprehensive review, you're looking at all types of signage. And I think if council were to direct staff towards that exercise, number one, I think the point you're making is it's a lengthy process. There's a lot of consultation involved, a lot of different types of signage, each with their own parameters. So that would take some time. Obviously, we would take direction from council as to whether you felt that was a priority or into next term. But we would have to understand as staff as to what the intent was. Does council want a more relaxed bylaw? A more relaxed bylaw with respect to a specific type of signage? Because the danger in jumping to a comprehensive review out of one application is you're focusing on one application. The bylaw is this size. The application deals with a very small part of it. So you're literally sledgehammer to crack a nut. But again, we would take direction. Staff's position on this and the reason for the recommendation that went to planning committee was that this was exactly the type of situation that the bylaw is trying purposefully to stop happening, where general advertising signs that are inevitably for the landowner to create some revenue for themselves do not get located on locations adjacent to or with residential uses on them. This is within, albeit a mixed use corridor. It's a relatively heavy residential cluster. Foreseeably in the future, that's going to intensify. You're going to get more residential within that area. So those are the reasons. It's not really nothing to do with the size of the sign. It's simply in the wrong location in relation to the bylaw. And staff's position on that is this is the bylaw doing what the bylaw was supposed to do.
Thank you for that, and I think that this has opened up a conversation, certainly, but I'm not calling for us to begin that process, but I think it's certainly begun a conversation, and maybe if there are more cases of this that come to council and there's more public input, maybe a through line is formed and we can go further, from my mind.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, may I respond to council?
Question from the podium. Okay.
May I respond?
Go ahead.
Okay. In terms of the minor variance process, it's my understanding that each individual case stands on its own 2 feet. So if one sign got put through, that means the second sign may or may not get put through, or the third sign, or the fourth sign. It's my understanding that each application is based on its own merits, based on the 4 tests and so forth. A comprehensive review of the bylaw may or may not be at council's discretion, but the minor variance process is most certainly controlling some of those procedures and some of those applications that do come through. And if you have a more restrictive bylaw, then you allow what you like to come through or what you feel fits the character of the neighborhood without having to do the comprehensive review. In this circumstance, we have jumped through the hoops I have jumped through the hoops personally with Hydro One, the Conservation Authority, the Building Department, and now I've been to planning and the council. This is the 3rd time for this sign to try to get something that's functional for the community. Every business follows the same 3 steps. It goes marketing, sales, fulfillment. You can't fulfill until somebody has bought something. You can't sell something until somebody knows about it. This is the first step in us trying to get people's names out there in the community so that people know about what they're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to support this. I don't like to go against our bylaws, but there are some times where there's variances, and they are on an application basis, and so, on occasion, I have, gone against our bylaws for certain things, so, on rare occasions. But the reason I support it too, I see it as more of a commercial area. Yes, there's residents, but you see a lot of signs down there, and on this application, I'll support it. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to ask for a recorded vote on this, please.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that I think after hearing the conversation now back and forth about the fact that it is a one-off and they have made application, is that I'm going to change my vote and I'm going to support this application because I believe what I'm hearing is that our bylaw is restrictive and we do have the opportunity to see each application based on their merit. This one seems to have merit, and I do want to support local businesses, and if there's a way that the signs are going to support local business. So based on that and the fact that the applicant has done his homework on trying to get this sign through, that I think I have been convinced.
We have worked on that sign bylaw, and I would think it was 5 years before we got something that was satisfactory to us, to council, and that it would work in all 4 wards. And that is a restrictive bylaw, and that's why it is a restrictive bylaw, because of the, I guess you'd say, the spring up of a multiple number of signs that you don't want along the corridor. You want the highway to be safe. You don't need any more distractions for people to be looking at and reading. And that's why we put that together. Yeah, yes, anybody can take another look at it, that's for sure. But I've got a recorded vote, we'll take it now. Thank you. Go ahead. Pardon?
Do we have a chance for another comment, or you're going to the vote?
No, I'm going to the vote.
Okay.
Councillor Ellier.
No. Can you clarify what the vote is on, please?
Denial.
This,
Yeah.
The motion that is currently being considered is to approve the request.
That's what I asked for.
Thank you.
Yes. The motion currently is that council approve the sign variance application submitted by Ryan Carr to install a pylon sign that will support a general advertising sign at the property of 628 Old Highway 2. So again, Councillor Ellier,
No.
Councillor Armstrong,
Yes.
Councillor Boyce,
No.
Councillor Card,
No.
Councillor Freeman, Councillor Kotsavos,
No.
Councillor Kunze,
Yes.
Councillor McHugh,
No.
Councillor O'Neill,
No.
Councillor Sharp,
Yes.
Councillor Stedall,
Yes.
Mayor Harrison,
No.
Councillor Reid.
Councillor Reid,
No.
the vote is 1, 2, 4 yes, 8 no.
Thank you.
Motion is,
Motion is lost.
Is
Thank you
lost.
very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, bylaws, that's where I'm at now. Bylaws be read a first, second, and third time. Okay, that's what I need. Move in a second. Councilor McHugh moves, seconded by Councilor Sharp. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, confirmation, I'm at confirmation bylaw. Need a move in a second for confirmation. Councilor Sharp moves, seconded by? Everybody want, Councilor, okay, Councilor Boyce. Okay, all right, thank you very much, and we need 2 for adjournment. Councilor Reid for 1 and Councilor Card for 2. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.